This is Carrie Shannon, and I'm recording Maroon List, the Kenny Jefferson Chronicles for Sims 4. This is my first time doing YouTube gaming, and here I'm introduced to you Charles and Zoe Jefferson, Kenny's parents. I asked people on Facebook, on a Facebook group called Sims 4, and I asked if they would rather see Kenny as story start when he's a teenager or an origin story, like where did he come from, like who his parents are and stuff. And they would rather know who his parents are, and I agree. It's like, what's a story without a backstory? Now we got Kenny, his parents. They are both into politics. Charles is more political. He's wealthy, and his wife is more like a charity organizer. She plans events and whatnot. She's friendly. And she could be snobby sometimes, but in the beginning, when they first got together, they were very nice people. Not ruthless, like as they got older, but now they're young and playful. Playing in the water fountain. Getting each other wet. Just young and having a good time. And this is way before Kenny. We gotta know who his parents are. And I apologize for not having any audio in the game, because I like to play with my own soundtrack. I like to play and with listening to my own music. So here we have Zoe. She's invited people over. Well, not technically, but the welcome wagon invites random neighbors to your house and greet you with a moldy fruitcake and trick the other Sims into eating it and getting sick. That's Sims for you. And like I said, there's no audio. I wasn't thinking. I'd rather play my game listening to my own music. Now I wish I did have audio in this game. I have many videos, so without audio, so I'm going to have to provide my own commentary separately from the video, like with voice memo on my iPhone. Here we have Zoe. She's entertaining Penny. The other guests have left. And she's still holding that fruitcake. Is she going to eat it, or is she just going to talk about it? Who knows? Is she going to sit there or stand there? Zoe is offering her to sit down next to her, but she likes to stand and talk at the same time and hold a plate of fruitcake. Charles and Zoe, they live in a penthouse on a very tall building in Manhattan. They have their own little pool and hot tub, 2-story house. It's kind of like a house on top of a building. It's an apartment, so it's a penthouse. I'm sure Charles can afford a much bigger place or a much better place, but he's also frugal with his money. He spends it wisely. Zoe says bye to Penny. Now we have Charles and Zoe on a date at a karaoke bar, no less. People who think they can sing. One of the guys in there singing is one of the guys that was at the welcome wagon. Anyways, they're inside the karaoke bar, sitting on the couch. Charles getting ready to make a move. And they make out. That's what the date is. They make out. They talk and they just stick tongues inside each other's throats. How interesting. Anyways, we got people walking in and out of the karaoke bar. And they're talking about how great it is to go out, based on their political career. They're always busy, so they have time to go out and whatnot. I wish I still had audio in this. But that's my first time gaming and making a video of it. Nobody's perfect. I'm not going to be like my favorite YouTubers who do Sims 4, like Sim Supply and Deligracy and, was it Siri? She does those pet genetics challenges. Those are cool. Here's how Kenny's made. Getting it on. I did cut out nudity because I have wicked whims. Nobody wants to see that on YouTube. I would probably get flagged if I did. Here they're having a morning conversation, like, after. Both look forward to being parents. I mean, they both were actually trying to have a baby. They both want a kid, and Charles wants a son. But Zoe doesn't really matter as long as the child's born healthy. But Charles really just wants a son. So they're talking about it over a cup of coffee. And she's like, it doesn't matter. We also need to pick names. When I do get pregnant, there should be names. And it's like, Charles will be like, I like the name Kenny. So we have a son, I'll name him Kenny. Kenny Jefferson. That'll be my son's name. It's like, but what if we have a girl? It's like, nope, you're going to have a boy, plain and simple. I still wish there was some kind of audio in there. I'm regretting it. Now, she's pregnant in this one. Move the camera over to the other side, you can actually see that she has a bump. But that doesn't stop her from exercising, You're pregnant, you still got to exercise. She's playing sports, she's playing basketball. See, you got the little belly bump there. She's pregnant with Kenny. That's the title of the show, the Kenny Jefferson Chronicles, but he's got to have an origin story. Now we have Charles and Zoe working on a project. When she was a teenager, you come home from school and you get these projects in your inventory. It was left over, so I got them to work on it. Gives them something to do together before the baby's born. Part of her nesting, I guess. Pregnant women have this nesting habit where they prepare for the baby, get everything organized. It's a little slow, like when it pauses, because I'm trying to get them to do a certain action, or when I try to speed up the game, because they take too long doing one thing, and nobody has time to sit there and wait hours just to finish something, so that could take them a few minutes. Now we're here in the bathroom for some reason in their underwear, and you can obviously see her belly bump, and then she let him feel the baby bump, so that's good. At least they're not naked with the wicked whims. I mean, sometimes you see them strip butt naked, and I'm trying to cut that stuff out. Here comes the train, no less, interrupting me. He's reading her a poem. And then here we are, fast forwarding a couple years later, where we got Kenny. He's 2 years old, and Zoe's playing with him. And we got Kenny's brother Scott in the bassinet. They're both 2 years apart, so Kenny's happy to have a brother, even though he's too young to understand. But he knows he has a little brother. And Kenny, 2 years old, are walking around. And Scott, I think he's just waking up, crying. And Zoe's going to check on him. Oh, she's holding him and stuff. Rocking him to sleep. Aww, that's so sweet. Now the Jeffersons are now 4 instead of 2. Fast forwarding a few more years, where Scott is 3, and even though the kids stay the same age, like when they're kids, but since Scott does still look like a toddler, he'd be 3 or 4, and Kenny would be 5 or 6 in this. So Kenny at least 5 or 6 in this video. In this clip here, so. And he is talking to his dad. And they're getting along. When they're getting along. I don't want to spoil anything, even though I want to. And here you got Scott. He's making a mess outside. Like any other kid his age would, which is pretty normal. And here I am fast forwarding, and here comes Kenny. He's being responsible and cleaning up after his little brother. And here comes Charles. He wants to play with Scott, having fun playing with him, bonding, which is good. While Kenny goes back into the house. Whee! That looks fun. Looks Scott's enjoying that. Yay. I wish I had a lot to say in these videos. I eventually will. I mean, this is my first time doing these gaming commentaries, or whatever you call them, because I get nervous. I'm used to doing Twisty the Clown videos, and I'm not talking, I'm dancing. This is totally different. Here comes Zoe. She's checking on both Charles and Scott. I don't know why she looked like she was embarrassed there for a moment. I don't know why he was cursing. Did he just curse at Scott for making that mess? Well, later, Charles does become quite a douchebag. Here comes Scott in this scene. He's checking on what his other family members are doing. Playing video games. It's like, what are y'all doing without me? I want to see what y'all doing. And they're all playing video games. Or look like they're racing. In this scene, we have little Scott dancing and Charles watching. And we got Kenny. If you can see his head, you can see him watching the fish. But there's no fish in the tank. I forgot to do that. And when I realized there was no fish in the tank, I added them later. Well, there will be a part 2. Because there's plenty of videos. I got a lot to do. To comment on. I got a lot to do. So there will be a part 2. Don't worry about that. If y'all enjoy it, please let me know what you think in the comments. And that's a good way to end it. Scott and his brother hugging. Those two brothers really do love each other, and they still have that bond through life. Well, that's a good way to end the video. Thank you all for watching.